Hi y'all, so back here with the episode of the Indigo Podcast, and today I ain't gonna lie, I have a mirage of different things I want to talk about. That's just kind of how I was feeling for this week's episode. So yeah, that's what's gonna be going on. Just boom, this here. So first thing I want to go over is the fall off. I mean, if you're a music fan, I talk about music occasionally, so I got to talk about the new Jermaine Cole album, The Fall Off. And first thing I want to go over is my reaction when I first listened to the album versus how I feel about it now. So honestly, I couldn't even sleep the night leading into the album, because I don't know, bro, like if you're really like a music fan, just any genre, and like you've been waiting for an album for a long time, so I mean just like a 10-year discussion of The Fall Off dropping. So when I got word of it dropping, I was like, yo, this is crazy. In the night going to the release, I was like, bro, yeah, like this is gonna be crazy. I thought it was gonna be the greatest album of all time, like dang near the hype it was at. So when I first heard the album, I was a bit disappointed because I don't know, I just expected more. You know what I'm saying? Then when I sat with the album more and more, I'm like, this is actually a very good album. I feel like a lot of people, when they heard it, just from the reception I saw, just myself, a lot of people were kind of let down, like, oh, this is underwhelming or yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Just saying it just didn't live up to the hype, But for me, right now, I mean, in comparison to his other projects, like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't listened to Born Center all the way through. I've heard a few cuts off of it, but voice crack, nice. I'm gonna keep a voice crack counter one day and just make it into a compilation. Anyway, other than me, my voice cracking. Yeah, I mean, in comparison to his discography, this is probably one of my favorite albums from him. I mean, I'd probably say my favorite is probably For Your Eyes Only. I mean, all the way through. I mean, it's 10 songs. I mean, with 10 songs, there's a lower likelihood of you missing, in my opinion, because it's very concise and condensed. But yeah, I mean, the reaction I had when I first listened, like my first reaction in comparison to now, is kind of night and day. I love the album now. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, there's a few cuts. I'll get into like the caveats to the album later, but there is like one or two cuts I'm like, you could have left this off, Cole. Like, we didn't need all that, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. I mean, some people may love the music, and I feel like he kind of wanted for his, I guess, send-off album, because allegedly it's his last album, so maybe giving people some melodic cuts and some more rap-heavy lyrical cuts, that's probably a good way to go. So you're appealing to the masses, I guess, in terms of his fan base. But in terms of my top 3 songs, not gonna lie, I have some honorable mentions, because there's a lot of like strong rap cuts and just strong songs in general on this album. But the 3 I have as of now, I mean, is The Villas, Drum and Bass, and Lonely at the Top. Let me talk about drum and bass, bro. Like, the beat, bro, it's like he's just gliding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like it's late at night, you're at a dinner, and like someone's playing on the piano. It's like very scenic, and just, I don't know, bro. I just love the beat, and I just love, the bravado he has on there, and just his lyrical ability on that song. But The Villas, I mean, same thing. Honestly, all these beats, the album as a whole had very strong production. I would say it's one of the strongest cornerstones of the album, if you want to say that. But going into my honorable mentions, I have to say Quick Stop, bro. When he starts like, raising his voice, bro. Oh my gosh, like, it's just peak. Like, there was this YouTube video I saw, I think it was like Ryan Reynolds, and he's like laying down, he's just looking at the sky. Like, that's a great encapsulation of how that song made me feel, because like the stuff he's talking about, like, saying some days I forget to eat, some days I forget to pray, and just humanizing himself. That's the thing I really liked about this rollout, especially with the trunk sale. I love that. Like, I love people just being authentically themselves and just radiating that, especially like as if you're as big as J. Cole. Like, you don't see a lot of people of his stature do that, so I thought that was really cool. But yeah, another one, Run a Train to Future. I mean, if you heard the Future verse, well, the hook, or whatever you want to call it, I mean, it's rare you get that from Future, so it's cool to hear that. But overall rating, to encapsulate it as a whole, review, I guess, short mini review, 8.5 out of 10. Very strong rap cuts and few misses, such as the aforementioned Quick Stop, The Villas. Safety is also a very great song. Honestly, it's probably gonna move up into my top 3. But I ain't gonna lie, the melodic performances, like with Only You with Burna Boy, I ain't gonna lie, you could have kept that in the vault. This is my opinion. Some people may love that song. If you do, keep playing it, you do you. But for me, I wasn't feeling it. It's a skip for me, just my opinion. Also, just the track was being a bit shorter. I mean, I know you wanted to do the double disc album, disc 29, disc 39. That makes sense for the thematics of the album. But for me, I mean, you could have shortened it to 15 or 16. If you were going to make a double album, 26 songs would have been perfect. But overall, I'm not going to complain too much. It's a great album, in my opinion. One of the best albums I've heard in a while. But there is a few downsides to the album. Other than the fall off, overall, I thought it was really good. Some people say it's underwhelming. I mean, to each their own. I liked it a lot. But to switch gears a bit, second topic, this one's like, more just some life stuff. But being present, honestly, this is one of my main goals as of now, because I always say, get off social media and I'm gonna do. I mean, because with training, it's super easy for me personally to just go out and run and go out and lift and walk. Like, I mean, I've just done that repeatedly for a long time. But the hardest thing for me is just being present in my own skin and my own life. You know what I'm saying? That's hard for me. I mean, hard is relative depending on the person. But this raises a big question. I mean, just for me personally, why is it so hard for many people today to be more present in their lives? The first one that comes to mind is hustle culture, and the second one is worrying too much about others' perceptions of them, or you know what I'm saying, just individually. First thing with hustle culture, like, I ain't gonna lie, for a long time I thought, I just gotta, do more and do this, and I didn't really value the, aspects of leisure time, to say it that way, and just aspect I'm crying, but just value just being present, just being aware of everything in my life, not just being so hyper fixated on one thing. Like, for me, one thing I was hyper fixated, for a period of time was just editing videos. I just wanted to rush things, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, with content, especially with short form content, you want to be very consistent, because people's attention spans are very sporadic. They're over here, then here, then here, you know what I'm saying? You have to kind of know your personnel with that. But at the same time, I think you should try to work on a natural pace, especially with me being in school, like, because during junior year, I was trying to force it, and I was still doing very good in school, but I mean, I wouldn't say I was as present in school, because I was like, I gotta edit this video, and I'd be editing in the car. I mean, respect the grind past Caden, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't as present as I should have been, especially senior year. I don't think I was as present as I should have been, But I mean, you live and learn. I have to learn things the hard way. I mean, some people may agree with that, be able to, vouch for that. But I mean, I don't know. I just think hustle culture, like, especially with running and training, I feel like a lot of people, I got to do it the next race. I got to do the next thing. I mean, that's valid, to each their own. But at the same time, I feel like that raises the risk of burnout. And then you can't even do the next race, and you just kind of lose the plot of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Second thing is worrying too much about others' perceptions of them, or you, either or. But I just think with social media, I've said this time and time again, but you see these highlights, you see just snapshots of people's lives, and you get kind of jaded, because you're like, like, this person's doing this, but I'm feeling down right now. So, you know what I'm saying? You just get to comparing, and I just think that detracts you from being present in your own life, because you're trying to be present in their life, which is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know a lot of these people, and you're just comparing your attributes to theirs, But how do we work towards becoming more present? And I would say there's two main solutions. I would say they're protecting your peace and being okay with missing out. First one, obviously, protecting your peace. This is subjective, just with anything in life. But for me, like, that's attracting myself from social media, just pulling myself away from the appearances I see and just my jaded reality on there, And I think protecting your peace is key. You know what I'm saying? Just having discernment, having nuance, and being okay with not everything being for you, because I feel like I would try and be in this, and but this popped out, someone posted this, and I'm trying to just be pulled in every direction, and I feel like that just leaves you just clueless in a sense. It just as to what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? You're just not really thinking, you're just kind of being thoughtless, and I don't want to be thoughtless in my life. I want to be aware of what I'm doing and just have conviction in what I want to do and be open to learning. Change is obviously very important, but I think conviction is equally as important, having conviction in what you're doing as of now, and being open-minded to change in the future. But I also feel like this goes with being okay with missing out, because, FOMO, the fear of missing out. And honestly, my biggest fear with being off of social was just missing out, did someone comment? Did someone, post? Or, what is this person doing? And just worrying about things that honestly are for the birds. They're not really that important. And honestly, I need to protect my peace, because if I'm worrying about, did someone comment on a new video? How's the likes doing? How the analytics look? And honestly, bro, it would be mornings after runs, like, I'd be dead, like, stressed. I'm like, bro, like, I need to check the phone, like, what's going on? And bro, that's paralyzing, bro, because you're just anxious. You're just not present. You know what I'm saying? Back to the topic I'm going over. I don't know, bro. I just feel like being present is a lifelong pursuit. You're never going to get it right, and you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and you may spend time where you shouldn't have spent time, but the thing is, it all brings lessons, and it all brings learning curves, and it all just brings you evolving, and I don't know, I just think protecting your peace, I don't know, it just really stands out to me just looking at it on my laptop. Like, it's so important, like, because, bro, like I was saying, I was just trying to be everywhere at once, and I wasn't within myself, I wasn't grounded where I was at. Obviously sometimes times are going to be busy. That's life. Things aren't going to be perfect. Things can't be, just optimized all the time. There's just going to be life. You know what I'm saying? Life's going to happen. So just trying to protect your peace as much as possible and distance yourself from just the digital world we're in now. Obviously with, TikTok can get some engagement and teach people things, but at the same time, you can overdo anything. You can overexert yourself. You can over just stimulate yourself and just be cooked, you know what I'm saying, just fried. But that was the second topic, being present. I think a lot of us, honestly, everybody needs to work on that. And I think just protecting your peace, honestly, you could just put those together, being present and protecting your peace. That's kind of the main two things I'm going over in this section. But bro, like, it's just because when I sit down and I'm just in my room right now recording a podcast, or, I'm running, it's dead silent. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing really going on. And I feel like with social media, everything's going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a funny video here, it's entertaining, but then you got this here, someone saying this, or you need to do it. It's just too much for me. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, to each their own. Some people may be able to be on there and just, operate normally. But for me, it really hinders, my just sanity. Like, it just disrupts everything. It disrupts my peace, like I was saying, protecting my peace. But anyway, that was the second topic, being present. But the third and final topic I got here, I ain't gonna lie, Kate, you wrote a lot of notes, but third and final topic, the allegory of the cave and why philosophy is my favorite class right now. You may be asking, what in the world is the allegory of the cave? I ain't gonna lie, I had no idea what that was until, I got introduced to it in philosophy class. But the allegory of the cave is the allegory, no kidding, from ancient Greek philosopher Plato that's mainly focused on the idea of appearance versus reality. So I would say a highlight of the allegory, just from my own interpretation from reading it, is critical thinking. So how removing yourself from the cave, quote unquote, obviously we're not cavemen anymore or cave women, but it can lead you being shamed and ridiculed. And I think this is really important. This goes with the fear of missing out, because you're like, oh, if I'm not doing what this person says, or oh, if I'm not in this echo chamber, if I'm not in this group, if I'm not just fully engaged in the digital world, what if people are going to shame me? What are people going to think? You know what I'm saying? Are people going to think I'm ignoring them? Or, I'm saying, just any instance, any just rumination process you can get in. And I think this allegory, so pretty much to break it down, a little synopsis real quick from what I got, because I mean, with lectures you can hear it and it kind of goes in one ear and out, no matter how like locked in you are in that lecture. But anyway, to get on to what the allegory is, pretty much these men are like kind of shackled, like their necks are shackled, and they're in this cave obviously, and there's like people around them, like with these I say, like a play, like they're holding things, whatever. So pretty much it's like a shadow, and it's showing illustrations on, kind of like the platform on the cave that's kind of just projecting them, right? So they think this is reality. They think, oh, this is the world and it's just dark and I have to watch this all day. And the thing is, if they try and look the other direction, they get blinded, so they're scared. You know what I'm saying? Because I think with being shamed or ridiculed, the fear of that, I mean, obviously it's a lot of fear behind it. It's a lot of worry, So they're worried, oh, if I look over here, I'm going to be blinded. So I'm just not even going to try and look at the truth. I'm going to just look at this appearance that's not reality. It's fractured reality. It's not real. I think this relates kind of what I was saying with social media. You have the fear of missing out. You have the fear of, oh, what if I go out and, just live my life? What am I going to miss? You know what I'm saying? And it's a fear of, if you do look at the light and you're blinded, you just, obviously it's painful. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like with pulling yourself out of social media is painful for me. Not obviously not like physically painful, like ow, you know what I'm saying? But psychologically speaking, it's hard because I've been used to just not critically thinking in terms of that. I mean, I would say I'm a pretty decently smart guy, but in terms of social media, I'm not the smartest because, I just be on there for hours and be comparing. And honestly, that destroys you slowly, So anyway, that's kind of how the allegory goes. Just from, obviously it's more detailed than that, but that's kind of that in a nutshell. But next thing, this isn't in the allegory, it's from another dude, not gonna lie, I don't know his name, but it is in the lecture. Second nature, that's the concept. And it's how we eat, how we dress, how we talk, and how we engage with each other. And the uniqueness of second nature is that it is optional and is changeable. And the thing is, change can be hard, especially if what you're changing comes from a mode of conformity. And that's what we were going over in our second lecture, like I keep saying thing, but the concept of conformity. Let me correct myself. But honestly, change, because I'm naturally a very stubborn person, change can be very difficult, especially with the, dealing with conformity and just second nature. Because, certain people eat a certain way, they may eat unhealthy, just eat Twinkies all day for forever. You know what I'm saying? That's all they know. They may dress a certain way. Maybe they don't want to dress that way. You know what I'm saying? They may talk a certain way. Maybe they don't want to talk that way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're being peer pressured and just influenced by people that they shouldn't really be around, you know, and so on and so on. I think breaking out of that, kind of like looking at the light and you're blind, you're like, like I know I should go there, but it hurts. I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like change psychologically and emotionally is the same thing. It's obviously not burning your eyes, but psychologically speaking, it's difficult for a lot of people, no matter what modality of life you're changing, you know. And when it comes from a mode of conformity, that's dangerous, you know. And just me realizing how I'm conforming, because I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, like with running, you know, you get these accolades, you get these numbers, and well, I guess numbers, like, you know, you get these good times or whatever, you progress, to put it short, and you kind of forget about the plot, you know, you kind of forget about, this thing in the background I was conforming to, but you know, I'm crushing running, so you know, I'm gonna just put that in the back burner. It doesn't matter. And one thing I realized, all of it matters. You know what I'm saying? Obviously training, still very important to me, cooking, nutrition, but mentally, you know what I'm saying, just protecting your peace and changing things that do not serve you well. You know what I'm saying? That's really hard, because when you're in the mode and norm of doing it over and over, it's hard to break that chain, you know? And I think a lot of us, not even a lot of us, I mean, all of us, need to check in with ourselves and see, okay, am I conforming to this? Do I really believe this? Or, you know, is just something that is just noise and just me being consistent in the wrong way, you know? But last thing, why I'm currently enjoying my philosophy class, other than the super long lectures, I ain't gonna lie, they're OD long, bro, pause, but they're very extensive. But I've realized, just for me, how it works with, you know, editing videos and stuff I do, just playing them on the walk or playing them while I'm cleaning or whatever the case may be, just playing them in the background, but still trying to, you know, be present as much as I can. I mean, obviously if you're walking, it's not as much going on, so it's kind of a sweet spot for me in terms of, you know, absorbing the knowledge. But why I currently enjoy it, so I would just say, honestly, the first lecture, bro, I feel like he was talking to me. I just think very deeply about things. Honestly, that's what drew me to applying for the class. You know, I don't know. I like, with school, I wanted to pick classes that are of use to me. I didn't want to, you know, do biology and, you know, get a doctorate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that, because I have no interest in doing that at all. I mean, no one can really change my mind on that. Like, I just don't want to do that, and that's fine. But I know philosophy, you know, talking on here and giving tidbits on shorts and stuff like that, it's very applicable to me, at least right now. So anyway, to sum it up, I just think it's very applicable to me, and I just think that it's something that we always, it's not, well, I guess always, yeah, but it's something that we often think about. I wanted to put it that way. I feel like it's subjective and it's nuanced in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of concept, but the way you interpret it and the way you apply it, because obviously with philosophy, you should apply it, you know, and what if it sticks with you, and it's of use to you. But I don't know, just to sum it up, it's just very applicable to me, and I just feel like it relates to me on so many levels. Like I was saying, like the first lecture, bro, like it just hit home, and I was just very engaged. And honestly, in high school, my favorite class is probably English, because I feel like, I don't know, I just related to it on a personal level. But with this one, I don't know, I just feel very engaged. Like I kind of feel like I'm listening to a podcast, I'm listening to lectures, which is good, because I ain't gonna lie, they long as hell, gang. Like, bro, they're like 2 hours. I'm like, gang, like, Jesus Christ. Like, but, you know, once I dove into the material, I was like, okay, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'll sit through this, you know, do my thing, go for a walk, maybe even run. I ain't gonna lie, I don't like listen to anything when I run. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. But anyway, that's the podcast, episode 11. A lot of just stuff I wanted to yap about today, but I'm gonna end the episode here because it's kind of late now. Hopefully I enjoyed, and I'm gonna see you next time.